Hello everyone, it's Valerie from Stampin' with Valerie, and today we are going to be making a cute little Halloween stamp set using the fantastic Have a Hoot stamp set. Now I used this before to make a Halloween card using this little owl, so this time we are going to use the little owl that is hiding behind the jack-o'-lantern, which I think is adorable. So I'm going to set this aside, and I've got my supplies all ready. I'm going to just set these aside for now, and I've got just some little scraps of Whisper White that I had from another project, and we're going to be stamping in Memento because we are going to color with some blends. And we're going to be stamping 3 of these little owls and jack-o'-lanterns. And then we're going to get them all colored in, and they're going to be super adorable. So we're going to be using Daffodil Delight Light, Pumpkin Pie Light, Pumpkin Pie Dark, Gray Granite Light, and we are also going to use Gray Granite Dark, Mossy Meadow, and So Saffron Dark. So just a few different colors. So we're going to just color the owl with the Gray Granite Dark. And I am just going to do all 3 of these pretty much at the same time. Basically, I'm going to color one and move right on to the next. So I'm not stopping and opening markers over and over. I don't know if you do that when you're doing a project, if you try to color one little photo or stamped image completely before you move on to the next. Excuse me. Need a little drink of water, I think. But when I do that, it just takes me so much longer. So I try to do it kind of like a little assembly line and just do all of one color, be done with it, and move to the next. And now it's not often that I'm doing 3 of the same image for one card, but this card looks so cute when it's done. You're going to be really surprised when you see how cute it is. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do 2 of the pumpkins with the pumpkin pie, and with the dark I'm just gonna do all the little ribs on the pumpkin and the outline, and then we're gonna color it in with the pumpkin pie light for these 2. And then actually we'll do just under the eye, or eyes I should say, and right around the bottom where it's carved out for the mouth. The nose, there really isn't that much there to mark, so I didn't mark that at all when I did it. I love how the blends just so seamlessly color, and you just don't have any issues with them as far as getting your image colored in nicely. I love that they just kind of flow on the paper. So if you don't have any blends, I highly recommend getting some. Now I went over that eye just a little bit on accident with this paper pumpkin, but we're going to be filling in with that So Saffron, and it should lighten it right up because it's a lighter color. Let me see. If it's not, I'll have to grab the color lifter maybe for that eye, but it kind of lightened it up. I can see that it's more there. Perfect. Because it is a lighter color, it'll kind of take that darker color out just a little bit. So that is another wonderful thing about these. I'm going to go ahead and do the same on these. This pumpkin over here, we'll go ahead and fill in. I missed the noses on these 2. Fill them in. Now for the eyes on the owl, I did them with the Daffodil Dark, just so they were a little bit different. I know you can't tell a lot from on camera. You can see it when you're up close where I'm at, but it does make a little bit of a difference. We've already done the pumpkin pie light. We're going to use some Mossy Meadow for all the stems. And then for the white pumpkin, we're just going to outline a little bit with the gray granite dark. And actually, this is light. I was going to say, I thought I was going to use light, and I did. I used the light. I moved the other one over. So we've got one white pumpkin and two regular orange pumpkins. All right, so then grab your 1-inch punch. Punch each of these out. Well, that one just went on the floor. I'm gonna have to grab it. So just punch them all out. And if you have scraps like I did, perfect. That makes it so much easier just to use those scraps. I've got to get all the way under my desk to get this now. Got it. And then I'm just going to put a dimensional on the back of each of these because we are going to dimensional those. Now that those are done, I'm just going to set them aside, and I'm going to grab a piece of pumpkin pie cardstock. And now we no longer sell the 1 3/4 inch punch. And I think I told you this was 1 1/2. If I didn't, I apologize. So if you want, you could use a 2-inch punch, but if you already have a 1 3/4 inch punch, go ahead and use it. We're gonna do 2 in pumpkin pie, and then we're gonna do 1 in basic black. Just set those aside, and then we can get our card put together. I had so much fun playing with this stamp set, designing this card, because of course I had to use some of the Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper because we all know how much I love that. I'm going to use some of the Stampin' Seal, my new favorite adhesive. Except when I don't stop it at a 90-degree angle and then it doesn't roll, then I'm like, oh, I gotta mess with it again. Just layer it right onto a piece of basic gray. And that piece of Plaid Tidings was 3 inches by 5.5. This is 3.5 by 5.5. And then we have our pumpkin pie, which is 4 inches by 5.5. And then we have a smoky slate card base. And we'll be using a piece of Whisper White for the inside as well. Make sure I'm doing this from, well, it doesn't really matter, I guess, which end I'm at because it's going to be the same all the way down. But make sure when I do the rest of the card that I'm opening it properly. All right, so take your pumpkin pie circles, just put a little bit of adhesive on them. One's gonna go at the top of the card, one's gonna go at the bottom of the card. Off to the left on that Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper. Then after you have your 2 pumpkin pie ones, just go ahead and do your basic black one right in the center of those 2. And for me, it's easier just to do that top and bottom one first and then add the middle one in, just to make sure I get it where I want it. Another handy tip from Val that you can use in your crafting. All right, so take one of the orange pumpkins, put it on the top, put your little white pumpkin and owl in the middle, and then the other orange pumpkin on the top. And if you have some more scraps, or if you have little 1/2-inch strips like I always do, grab a 1/2-inch strip of Whisper White, and we're going to stamp Boo 3 times. And we're going to actually stamp it so it's not quite at the bottom, then it's more centered. There we go. Still didn't get it more centered. There we go, better. It's sometimes hard to see when you're way over here and you can't put your face over it. Okay, So let me get some of those that actually look a little bit better. We're just gonna cut 3 of them. My other ones, we're just gonna say were practice ones. So grab 3 of them, put a dimensional on the back of each of those, and those we're gonna put 1 next to each of our little pumpkins and owls. And then we will stamp a sentiment for the inside of the card on a piece of Whisper White. And I'm gonna like alternate them on an angle. So one's kind of pointing down, one's kind of pointing up on the right hand side, and then down again. Grab a piece of, sorry for my arm in the camera, grab a piece of Whisper White. We're gonna stamp "Have a Hoot on Halloween" for the inside of the card, which I think is just a super cute little Halloween sentiment. Put this on the inside, and then we're gonna grab some rhinestones for the outside. And a package of rhinestones that I haven't used in quite a while, but it matches perfectly, are the holiday rhinestones. These ones on the right hand side are the perfect color for this card. So just grab take your pick tool, and if you don't have these, if you have just silver ones, you can color them with your blends. How fun is that? Put one on the left side of that middle one, and then one back on the right. So there you have it. There is a super adorable Halloween card made with, I'm gonna grab the stamp set so you can see, the Have a Hoot stamp set. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make some of these cards for the little trick-or-treaters in your life, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.